Well, hello and welcome. My name is Misheard with Misheard Song Lyrics Podcast. We're in season 4, episode 173, doing my first ever Patrick Swayze Misheard song lyric. It's his song, She's Like the Wind. And the Misheard song lyric is, feel her breasts on my face, her body close to me. And then the correct lyrics is, feel her breath in my face, her body close to me. Both work. Breasts, breath, it still works. But I'm excited to dig into this because I remember when it first came out in 87, I was a mere 15. You can now know he can sing, he can do it all. He can dance, he can act. So this is a song by Patrick Swayze from 1987. If those who have lived under a rock don't know who he is, he was an American actor, singer, dancer, everything now. Just some everything. Like I'm going to call him a Renaissance man. And this song was actually from the soundtrack from his movie Dirty Dancing. And it actually features additional vocals from a singer named Wendy Fraser, spelled Fraser. Did not know that as well, so that's something. Before we get into the song, let's talk about Patrick Swayze. So he was born back on August 18th, 1952. And he passed away on September 14th, 2009. Way too young. He was an American actor, like I said, dancer, singer, known for his, they say, distinct lead roles, usually like the tough guy, but there's a romance and some comedy. He was also known for his looks and image, which, when I first saw him, I didn't think originally like, oh, this is a really good looking guy, but there's something about him. He has this charisma, and he actually was named on People magazine's Sexiest Man Alive back in 1991. So there you go. He actually received 3 nominations for the Golden Globe Award for Best Lead Actor in a Motion Picture, Comedy or Musical for his roles in the romance film Dirty Dancing from 87. And when he did the thriller film Ghost in 1990. One of my other favorites that he's done was a movie called To Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julian Newmar from 1995. It's a road comedy film is what they call it, but he was dressed in drag and he was awesome. I loved it. He was also in a movie that many people remember. It's a cult classic called Roadhouse from 1989, which I actually have a friend and his friends that do it. It's like annual. They do a stage version of Roadhouse. So if you haven't seen it, go. And then 1991, another cult classic with a then younger Keanu Reeves. We're all younger then, right? 1991, Point Break. He was honored with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 1997. So a little bit that. So how did he start out in life? So Patrick Wayne Swayze, like I said, was born on August 18th, 1952. So he's a Leo, is what I believe, in Houston, Texas. He was the second child of Patsy Swayze, and she actually was born in 1927 and died in 2013. So she outlived her son. 4 years later, she passed on after his passing. She too, makes sense, was a dancer, choreographer, and dance instructor. And his dad, named Jesse Wayne Swayze, that's where he gets the Wayne from his middle name, was born in 1925, died in 82, and he was an engineering draftsman. He had an older sister. Her name was Vicky, and apparently she was born in 1949 and actually died in 1994. So young. And then 2 younger brothers, one who's an actor still alive, who kind of looks like him, but it's like you have to do a double take, like, oh, that is his brother. His name is Don, born in 1958. His other brother, Sean, in 1962. And then he has a younger sister named Bambi. Interesting. And then until his age of 20, Patrick Swayze lived in the Oak Forest neighborhood of Houston in Texas, where he attended St. Rose of Lima Catholic School. So shout out to those who live in that area. Oak Forest Elementary School, Black Middle School, and then Waltrip High School, and then San Jacinto College Central. Like I said, he's definitely a Renaissance man. During this time, he was known to do many things. He pursued artistic and athletic endeavors, such as ice skating. I didn't know about the ice skating, classical ballet, and acting in school plays, which shows in all his films his versatility. He also played football during high school, hoping to receive a football scholarship for college until a knee injury ended his career. Imagine if he would have gotten that football scholarship, what would have happened? Would he have done as well as he did? We don't know. He also practiced martial arts, such as wushu, taekwondo, and aikido, which he used to channel he called self-deprecating rage. So he must have had some rage inside, and that was his way his outlet to get rid of it. And then in 1972, he moved to New York City to complete his formal dance training at the Harkness Ballet and Joffrey Ballet School. That is why he can dance. So films. So we all know about his 1987 Dirty Dancing. If you don't, look it up on Google, watch it. It's everywhere. It's also a cult classic. However, there are a few other things I didn't know about his other movie, Ghost, with Demi Moore. So Swayze next starred as Sam Wheat in this 1990 romance thriller film called Ghost. Like I said, opposite also young Demi Moore, Whoopi Goldberg, and Tony Goldwyn of the Goldwyn-Mayer family lineage. So Ghost was the highest grossing film of that year in 1990 and earned positive reviews from critics. The film was nominated also for an Academy Award for Best Picture, and Swayze earned another Golden Globe nomination for his acting. What I did not know was it was actually Swayze who convinced the producers to hire Whoopi Goldberg. So apparently, I'm curious to see who they wanted in that role, that psychic role or medium, who then thanked Swayze in her acceptance speech when she won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress for Ghost. The scene where he and Demi Moore use a party rule has become an iconic moment. It's been redone many times. It's also been done for comedic purposes. And then the following year, he starred alongside his Youngblood castmate, Keanu Reeves, in another major action hit, Point Break, about surfing and being getaway drivers and bank robbers. And like I said, in 91, people said, hey, you're the sexiest man alive. Let's go back to the song. Okay, so we know about him. We also have the backstory of who he was when he was growing up in the industry, but the song itself. So I didn't realize that Swayze actually wrote it. He co-wrote it with a gentleman by the name of Stacy Widelitz, and they co-wrote it in 1984. And actually, it wasn't supposed to be used originally for Dirty Dancing. It was actually supposed to be intended for use of his other movie. For a soundtrack. The movie was called Grandview USA, and it was meant to be about his Jamie Lee Curtis character in the film. So it was supposed to be for that film. However, it wasn't used, and it ended up being used in Dirty Dancing. So during production of Dirty Dancing in 87, Swayze played the demo for producer Linda Gottlieb and director Emile Ardolino, and they loved it, obviously. It's really good, and passed it on to Jimmy Ienner, and Bob Feeden, the soundtrack's executive producers, and it was recorded for the soundtrack in November of 86 with Michael Lloyd producing it. The song, like in the film in which it was featured, was a success, reaching number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 1 on the Adult Contemporary. And I think I had a single of that back in the day, and was a hit across the world. It's still in rotation on radio. I hear it once in a blue moon when I do. I'm like, oh, Patrick Swayze. And then the soundtrack album was number 1 for 18 weeks. The inspiration for the song originally was actually his wife, his longtime wife. So her name is Lisa Nemi. He married her back on June 12th in 1975 until his death in 09. So they were together for 34 years. They had no children, but she did suffer a miscarriage. They met in 1970 when Swayze was 18 years old and Nemi was 14, so she was young at the time. She was taking dance lessons from Swayze's mom. Remember, I shared earlier that her mom was a dance teacher. That's how they met. And that's why Swayze said in a 2008 interview, he stated that Nemi, his wife, was the inspiration for a song. She's like the one. Oh, man. So then he did pass away, like I said, on January 9th, 2009. He was hospitalized with pneumonia, which was said to be a complication of chemotherapy for his cancer. So on January 16th, he was released from the hospital to rest at home with his wife. And then on April 19, 2009, doctors informed Swayze that his cancer had, again, metastasized now to his liver. He was a heavy smoker for 40 years, and once he made reference to smoking about 60 cigarettes a day. Yikes. He stated that his chain smoking probably had something to do with it, with the development of his disease, and continued to smoke cigarettes while even undergoing treatment for cancer. He's like, I can't, it's inevitable, apparently. He died with his family at his side on September 14, 2009, at the young age of 57. Wow, too young. His death occurred 20 months after his initial cancer diagnosis. That's how fast it went. And his publicist at the time confirmed to CNN that he died of pancreatic cancer, and his body was cremated and his ashes were scattered over his New Mexico ranch. Wow. He is not forgotten, definitely. And then in the music video, if you haven't seen the She's Like the Wind music video, it is beautiful. It is actually all in black and white, and it features clips from the movie Dirty Dancing. And it is a whopping 135 million views since it was originally posted on the YouTube channel back on 11/25th, 2009. 135 million views. So people still love him, love the song. I do. Learned a lot. It's not about feeling the breast on his face. It's the breath, but it sounds pretty close. If you have any great suggestions like this Misheard song lyric, please send it to one of our many facets of either Facebook with the name of our Misheard Song Lyrics podcast. You can send it to Twitter. You can send it to Instagram or Insta, as the youngins say, or you can do the good old-fashioned email at Misheard, that's MISSHEARD songs @gmail.com. And if it's something good, we would love to do a story about it, give you a shout out, and there you go. Till then, keep singing those songs wrong. Bye.